Hey, what's up, everyone? It's JIMBO. Today we're talking about the 5 detailing myths that I think are a culmination of what my clients have talked about, what I see in all these Facebook groups and other detailers talk about, and even down to the comments that I get on my YouTube videos. So I just want to talk about the 5 detailing myths and kind of go over them and talk about why they are myths, even though I have a really difficult time with that word for some reason. So the first one is this, that relabeled products. We talk about this all the time. Everyone talks about, most of the detailing industry is just relabeled junk. It's just coming from China. It's coming from here. It's coming from there. While that may be true, it's also not true. It's also not a myth. However, I will throw in a caveat that no one else has ever even mentioned that I see. And the only reason why I know about it is because back in 2016, I was actually hired by a local blender out here in Southern California and really got to see how the sausage was made. And since then, I do have a full-fledged private label business that, yes, a lot of products are just relabeled. However, depending upon how good or bad, I guess you could call it, your salesperson is, the brand, the end brand using it that you guys are purchasing may not even know what he is buying is just relabeled something else. He may or she may think that it is a custom formula, custom blend for them, when in reality, again, I'm getting so excited, I'm throwing stuff. In reality, he could have a really good salesperson that is just selling the relabeled stuff in a different color, a different scent, a different this, a different that. So while it is true, I will say a really high majority of stuff is actually coming from different places. But a lot of times I also see with private labeling, like if a brand, maybe it's a venture capital firm or an investment group, wants to start a product brand, or a marketing person, what they might do is pick a brand in the market that they like and then reach out to that brand and get a private label under that brand. That also happens with big legacy brands. Those people do pretty much go to the same place because they're talking very high volume, custom bottles, custom packaging, stuff like that. There's only a handful of those in the US, and some of them are being bought up by each other to create bigger ones. Similar what we saw with B&B being bought out, and Adams as well. Adams was getting stuff from B&B, and they both get bought out by a bigger global conglomerate, and they started doing other stuff like that. But I know where a lot of the chemical guy stuff is made, not all of it, not 100% of it, but a lot of it, and it's so a lot of it is just different color, different scent. So that's a big myth that everyone talks about, the relabeled. But my thing with that is, don't worry about it. If you like a product for what it is, just use it and enjoy it and support that brand. I'm a big fan of that too. The second myth is that everything will scratch. People say, if I use this drying aid, it doesn't scratch my car. If I use a rinseless wash, it's not going to scratch my car. If I use this soap, it doesn't scratch my car. Everything scratches. Every time you put something onto the surface of your car, you're scratching it. If you have a ceramic coating, you may scratch it less. Every time you touch your car's paint, it's going to scratch. And sometimes even when you don't touch your car paint, how about that? You could scratch. You could hit a rock. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff. Everything will scratch your paint. What the myth is that certain stuff doesn't scratch your paint. But in reality, everything does. Now, this is highly dependent upon if you have a dark color car, a light color car, if you have a ceramic coating, if you have any protection on your car. But honestly, a bird poop will etch and scratch your car and you didn't even touch it. So yes, everything will scratch your car. By the way, how do you like the whiteboard? So everything will scratch your car. What it comes down to is just mitigating that amount of scratching and then maintaining your car so you can remove those scratches. So having a ceramic coating is a great idea, because then, let me check my notes, make sure I'm not missing anything. But having a ceramic coating as a base layer of foundation for your car so that you're actually scratching the coating little by little, because you're probably going to take your best care of it. So little by little, you're scratching it. But then you go to maintenance it. Maybe you do a one-step polish every couple of years. You're doing a clay, you're decontaminating it, reapplying some layer of coating or protection. And so you're mitigating the amount of scratching that you're doing. And you're doing it to a superficial surface, not the actual clear coat. Whereas if you have no protection on your car and a bird poops on it, you're going and etching right through the clear coat. So you don't have like an insurance barrier there. That's what I call a ceramic coating, like an insurance barrier. The third one, I get this a lot on YouTube. You cannot wash your car in direct sunlight. Now, as a mobile detailer for 14 years in Southern California, I can vouch that you can 100% safely and effectively wash your car in direct sunlight. You can even wax your car in direct sunlight. This is not the 1970s car care anymore. Okay? The paste waxes that dry, that stain your molding, those days are over. Use DI water. If you don't have deionized water or spot-free water, you could use something like a wax and dry, which is great. They're cheap, and the thought behind a wax and dry, or the theory behind a wax and dry, is that it's giving you time. It's giving you more time to dry the car. Water spots come from hard water, right? And you can't get around your car fast enough because it's hot, right? And so if you use something like a wax and dry product, Turtle Wax has a good one that I really like, you could spray that all over the whole entire car, and it's going to buy you time. You're going to have more time to get to that around the whole car. Also, if you use a wax and dry, it's going to put a base layer of protection on your car, which is added insurance, which is great. Also, use a blower. Use a lawn leaf blower, use an air compressor, use something to get the bulk majority of that water off your car, and then use a really big microfiber towel and move your way around the car. I would still say use a wax and dry. Another term for this, and this is where we get way back into the relabeling, rebottling story, is that wax and dry was the original name for, let me hear it, you got it, a drying aid. And so when we go back to this relabeled story, and people say, that's just relabeled junk, sometimes it is relabeled, but it's also remarketed. And that's exactly what a drying aid is a wax and dry product, relabeled, remarketed, call it whatever you want to call it, but the wax and dry is the original. Now, you could save a ton of money because this stuff is like $10 a bottle, right? And you don't need that much, maybe even less. We'll call it $10 or less. Whereas a drying aid by maybe a Car Pro or a fancier brand is going to be much more expensive. So look for a wax and dry. It's a drying aid. You talk about OptiSeal got popular as a drying aid. It's buying you time to dry the car. It's adding protection at the same time. There's also these, spray on rinse off sealants that I'm not a big fan of because they always smear. But again, see how these all correlate? Relabeled is also sometimes remarketed. Not sure if that's a word, but the remarketed happens more often, or probably just as often as the relabeled. Again, we see it with chemical guys all the time. They're remarketing the same product, just calling it InstaWax, calling it Hydro, whatever. But this is how you could wash your car, direct sunlight, be totally safe. You can not only wash it, but you could also wash and wax it. Use the blower, wax and dry, DI water if you can. Then you really don't have to worry about the drying aid, but you can do that as a drying aid. A spray wax will also work as a drying aid, which is great. Myth number 4, all coatings are lifetime. While this is totally false, it's also totally true. So what do coatings need? Coatings need maintenance, right? Coatings need maintenance. What does your car need? Maintenance. What does your clear coat need? Maintenance, okay? But what coatings are doing, though they may not last a lifetime, if you maintain it correctly, it will last a lifetime. Why? Because what is part of the maintenance regimen? Clay barring it, cleaning it out, reapplying a topper, right? So they don't last a lifetime if you just apply it, park it under a tree, and you're done. Just like your car's clear coat, it won't last forever. But if you maintain it properly, it will. So, though coatings do not last a lifetime, they can last significantly longer than what the manufacturers say. However, you do have to go over and beyond what the manufacturers actually recommend for the for the maintenance. This is one of my favorite ones. This comes from the customer. I need a clay wax, what is that? I need a clay wax to remove scratches from my car. Just so you know, if you're a consumer, you're a DIYer out there, you're looking to remove some scratches, does not ever remove a scratch from your car. A clay bar never removes a scratch from your car. What a clay bar does is exfoliates the paint. It grabs all those dots and ugly stuff in your paint, the roughness of the paint. Doesn't remove oxidation. It doesn't remove scratches. It doesn't, it does scratch. It will scratch. Do synthetic clay scratch? Yes. Do clay bars scratch? Yes. Yes. Everything scratches. Everything scratches. So what you need to do is be careful. Use a new clay bar. Don't use a synthetic clay bar. Make sure you have a ton of lubricant. Hey, you can use a wax and dry, or you can use a spray wax, or you could use a drying aid. Why? Because they're remarketed. They're remarketed, or a detail spray, right? Use a detail spray. Is it a clay lube? Detail spray. Oh, another one. Waterless wash. How's my writing? Waterless wash is also a detail spray, is also can be a drying aid, is also can be a dry spray wax, because a waterless wash is just pretty much a diluted down spray wax, right? So if you want extra gloss spray wax, wax and dry is going to help, drying aid will help, detail spray will help, waterless wash probably has more cleaning agents actually than a spray wax, so the chemistry is going to be a little bit different. So speaking of waxes, so your clay bar, just to remember, clay bar does not remove scratches. Compound polish removes scratches. Clay bar does not. Uh-oh, getting messy over here. The last one, so that's 5. I'm going to give you a bonus. Bonus. Waxing in circles does not create swirl marks. What creates swirl marks is machines. Rotary machines cause swirls, not the waxing. And what they're talking about most times is spider webbing. And why you're seeing the spider webbing in a circle is because the light reflecting on the paint is a circle. We also call that the sun. So the sun is a circle, so it gives the optical illusion that all these scratches on your car are in a circle. Now, what you've done is you've probably wiped your car with an old baby diaper, a newspaper, a terry towel, something, and what you've done, because what? Everything will scratch, and you used a super aggressive towel or a super aggressive medium to wipe down your car at the car show. There was a bunch of dust and blah, blah, blah. You wiped it down. Here's the sun shining down on your car. The sun is a circle, and you're seeing a reflection of the circle, and all the scratches look like they're in a circle, right? Because you've rubbed and abraded the surface, because everything will scratch, and you decided to use something super, super aggressive on it, and then you're seeing the reflection of the sun. Waxing in circles does absolutely nothing other than you're just working in a circular motion. But if you wipe in straight lines like that, because the sun is a circle, you're still going to give the optical illusion that you gave swirl marks. If you're seeing swirl marks, those are machine-induced swirl marks, not from improper waxing like this. Again, that is 1970s car care thinking, not 2023, 2024, wherever we're at, right? So those are the 5 detailing myths. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hey, if you like content like this, I am creating a Discord. You could go to autodetailingpodcast.com/Discord, and it'll get you there, where I'm giving out free autodetailingpodcast.com/Discord, DISCORD, ADP.com, autodetailingpodcast.com/Discord, where you can join the Discord, where we talk about things like this. I do pre-released content, no ads in the video, no ads in the podcast episodes. We're doing business-based content, we're doing product-based content, and basically what it is giving me a platform to really give no BS and unfiltered content that I don't feel comfortable putting out on the free platforms like YouTube, and stuff like that, and on my podcast. And so I'm creating a Discord community for really serious people that really want to learn about detailing and are getting tired of the Facebook groups and the Reddit groups that are filled with a ton of misinformation, like if you wax in circles and clay removes scratches. So if you're interested in that, I welcome you over to autodetailingpodcast.com/Discord. I will also have it linked below, and I hope you join because I have a really big project that I'm working on that I'm going to work within the Discord. And so if you want to be first alerted of stuff like that, the Discord is where everything is going to go out first. And so autodetailingpodcast.com/Discord will get you there with a ton more information. And so, yeah, hope you guys will join me over there so you could get more content like this more often, daily content, stuff I don't feel, maybe a little bit of family stuff, just stuff I don't feel comfortable talking about on kind of the open internet. And also as well as, projects that I have coming up and stuff that I want more feedback on and want a direct line of communication with people. I figured that I would set up this own community that I had a little bit more control over. And so, hope you guys will join me over there, autodetailingpodcast.com/Discord. Thanks for checking out this video. Catch you on the next one. See ya.